Hi everybody, this is Dr. Cook. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about your next paper and go over some of the things that I want you to concentrate on in the introduction paragraph. That includes a thesis statement and a preview statement. So let me review the requirements. Number one, you're going to select a controversial issue in the field. I think I've looked at everybody's topics and have approved them, and people that needed to make some revisions, I think you made the revisions already. But again, when it's controversial, it is a problem or an idea that people will agree or disagree with. There has to be two sides, and what you're going to do is you're going to take a stance and present one particular side. You could select an innovation in your field, a piece of equipment, and then argue whether or not that is best practice. But that's a little bit more difficult than actually taking a controversial issue, so I really suggest everybody sticking to number one. Again, you're going to make clear the specific claim, and I'm going to talk about claims in a minute. And you need to give evidence to support. And you're going to have 4 to 6 major benefits, 4 to 6 points for the support. And each of those is going to be one of the sections of your paper. Keep in mind that this paper is 1,800 to 2,100 words. You don't want to go below. This is the final paper. It is worth a lot of points. So if you get a 0 and have to redo it, you're losing a lot of points just for that. You're going to turn in a proposal memo, and that's what you're going to be working on this week. With your proposal memo, you're going to turn in with me to me some 6 to 8 printed sources. I need to look at your sources for approval. Because you're online, you can simply write a little blurb as to how you're going to use those. A minimum of 3 sources have to be for the database. I prefer all of them. The English department is being asked by the college to really push the use of the database and that you use the database more often. So I really would like to try to see as many sources as possible, if not all, from the database. In this paper, you're going to use 10 parenthetical citations. Maximum of 2 direct quotes. Again, the preference is that you don't have any direct quotes, but you can have up to 2, but a minimum of 10. And the first thing I do is simply go through the paper and I look for your citations. Whatever you have on the references page must be cited in your paper. You can't have anything on your reference page that you don't cite in your paper. In the last paper, for instance, the exemplification report, there were a number of people that had references or sources on their reference page, but they weren't used in the paper. The same thing goes the other way around. You can't have something in your paper that you don't have on your reference page. So you want to cross-check to make sure that everything in your reference that's on your reference page is found in the actual paper. You will turn in a formal outline that will be typed and has to be approved. So I have to approve your sources and I have to approve your outline. The citations and the references are all scored with a separate rubric. So while the actual paper itself is like 200 points, the citations and the reference page are also a number of points. That makes this paper worth over 250 points. I'm going to skip over the due dates because that doesn't apply to you. So keep in mind that what you are doing, this is a persuasive research report. It's an argumentative paper. And I want you to think back again to English 101, where they talk about an argument. And an argument has to do 2 things. Number one, it has to make a claim, and it has to offer reasons and evidence in support of that claim. So again, you're going to make a claim, and then you're going to offer some reasons and evidence to support your claim, while also acknowledging and responding to the opposing viewpoints. So in your paper, you're going to have a little section on refutation, but I will cover that in a later video. So remember, if it's an argument, it focuses on an arguable, narrowly defined issues. These cannot be too broad. states a specific claim in a thesis, and may call for action. And you need to have a logical line of reasoning, either inductive or deductive reasoning, which you covered in English 101. You have to consider your audience, and it's going to be me, present reasons supported by convincing evidence, and then you should appeal to the reader's needs, values, and recognize opposing views. All right, so the basic parts of an argument. First, we have what we call the issue, and that's your topic, the controversial issue or problem, which is going to hold different points of view. There are three types of claims that can be made, and what I want you to do is you will have to pick one to actually use in your paper. There is the so-called claim of fact, claim of value, and claim of policy. Again, this continues besides the claim. You need support, which are reasons, evidence, and lastly, I want you to have refutation. All right, so what exactly is a claim of fact? A claim of fact are statements that can be proved or verified. So they're basically facts. Claim of value are statements that express an opinion or judgment about whether one thing or idea is better or more desirable than something else. So claim of fact is a fact, claim of value is an opinion, and then we have so-called claim of policy. And claim of policy is a statement offering one or more solutions to the problem. So if you're discussing an issue and then want to offer some possible solutions, that would be a claim of policy. So let me give you an example of a claim of policy. To reduce the number of incidents of drunk driving, all cars should be equipped with a breathalyzer. Right? So you're talking about driving under the influence, and we're looking for ways of possibly reducing the number of incidents. And the solution here would be to have a breathalyzer. So what I would be doing in the paper is arguing and presenting evidence why the breathalyzer would be the ideal solution to the problem. So again, keep in mind it's not a paper per se, you're producing a report. And so your report, you're going to have headings like everything. It's not going to be one full paper that flows nicely. You're going to give your 4 to 6 reasons and supporting paragraphs as headings. You still have to make some kind of claim, whether it's a claim of policy, claim of fact, or claim of value. And you want to avoid things such as absolute statements. All animals should be used, or one should never. So all and never, those are absolute statements. You want to avoid things like that. Always is another absolute statement. Qualify or limit your claim. Use probably, often, for the most part, in general. Now that we talked about claims, you need to decide, are you going to use a claim of fact, a claim of value, or a claim of policy in your thesis statement. So we're going to go now from using the claim and showing what a good argument is to building a proper thesis statement, because the thesis statement you're going to bring into the proposal memo. The next video will be on the proposal memo. So for the purpose of this example, I'm going to begin with a topic that probably nobody in our class has, and that will be, the subject matter will be agriculture. And specifically, I want to explore the topic of precision agriculture. So when coming up with an idea, we want to begin with some kind of research question. And the question that I am going to have is, what are the benefits, or are there benefits of precision agriculture? If so, what are they? So this is a good starting point. This is where I want to really begin doing my research. And so I really haven't made up my mind at this point which side I'm going to take. But you, when you submitted your topics, you did come up with the side. So I'm now going to then show that here. I'm going to put the claim in. And the arguable claim that I'm going to say is there are benefits to precision agriculture. So now I'm in a good position to actually begin the research for the paper. And I'm going to look up to see, to delve into it, find out what are the 4 to 6 major benefits of precision agriculture. So I'm not quite done with how I'm going to formulate this in my actual paper, but it is a good start. So let's say the research has come up with some ideas, and I'm going to list here what I found to be the 4 big benefits to precision agriculture. So here are the 4 benefits that I got from the research. Monitor soil and plant parameters, automate field management, collect real-time data, and get the best results from labor and resources. So we now basically have a claim. We do have our 4 reasons. The next step is to put all of this together, the claim and the reasons, and we're going to come up with a good thesis statement. So in coming up with our thesis statement, we want to keep in mind our claim and our benefits, because these 2 things will be combined to formulate the thesis statement. So in coming up with our thesis statement, we want to keep in mind our claim and our benefits, because these 2 things will be combined to formulate the thesis statement. So now here is my thesis statement. Precision agriculture can bring many benefits to growers who decide to use technology to help manage their fields, such as allowing farmers to monitor soil and plant parameters, automate field management, collect real-time data, and get the best results from labor and resources, thereby increasing yields. So let's note the various elements to this thesis statement. First, we have our claim. Precision agriculture can bring many benefits to growers who decide to use technology to help manage their fields. Then we have our various reasons. Allowing farmers to monitor soil and plant parameters, automate field management, collect real-time data, and get the best results from labor and resources. The last thing we have is really just this phrase here, thereby increasing yields. This is important because it really shows the importance of this topic and the importance of the benefits of precision agriculture. So you want to make it clear that your topic is of great importance. So somehow try to build in some kind of statement that shows why one should care about your topic. So I hope this gives you some idea of what a claim is, what makes a good argument, and also gives you a little bit more information of how to make a good thesis statement, because the thesis statement is something that you are going to include in your proposal memo, and that will be the next video.